Hello and welcome to this new special episode of Continuum Gaming, this time around accompanying the episode 240 of Continuum Gaming. And in this episode I want to talk to you about a couple of different apps which I really find very useful and which are mostly still supported or at least very functional. And So let's have a look at that, because I have a couple of questions in the commentary sections where they are asking for, hey, which apps are still working and what are you doing there, and so on and so forth. I find it a pretty hard task to really answer that in a complete sense, so I can't really say you or tell you which apps are all working or still working or whatever. That's just a very large amount of stuff I would have to check for that, and of course if you're not asking for a special one or something, I really have problems to answer that questions. But just to show you that there are a couple of them which I'm still using, and as you can see, it's still my daily driver till this day. And so I'm using a couple of different apps there which are really helpful and which I'm using at least close to on a daily basis. Not all of them are used daily by me, but still very close to that. And because of that, let's have a look at them. I'm just going to show you which those are. Yeah, and the first one I want to show you is Unigram Mobile. Unigram Mobile Messenger is more or less an app that is based on the Unigram one, but Unigram itself dropped support a couple of versions ago. But the cool thing is that Unigram Mobile Messenger is a messenger purely recompiled more or less for the Windows 10 mobile community, and so you can still use it for mobile. And this is really the best Telegram client I could find, even if you put in the normal client from Telegram itself. This one is really the best one I can find, and I would highly recommend you to use that if you're still using Windows 10 Mobile in 2020 to 21. It's the easiest way to communicate with people, so when WhatsApp dropped more or less the support, which I am pretty upset about still, there is a petition I put up for that. If you want to have a look at the description down below, you might want to sign that. I'm not really sure that it will change anything, but still, Unigram is the one you can use here, and Unigram is more or less a substitution for that, and it's pretty much the best messenger app you can have on your Windows 10 Mobile app. At least in combination with Skype, which is the next one I want to show you. But first, let's have a look at Unigram itself. As you can see, it's possible to run it in Continuum Mode 2, and you can of course run it in the smartphone mode itself too. The cool thing about this is, of course, you can use more or less everything that you really want to do with the messenger. So, for instance, I'm following one of the groups here. So this is a Corona information of the German administration, and so we can have a look at different information they are providing us here. And as you can see, you have different images. You have, for instance, videos in there. We're not going to look at that too long because it's a political content and I'm trying to not involve that in my channel too much. But in the end, this is going to be, for instance, one of those channel views. You can have, of course, different informations, different talkings to other people, like, I don't know, which one could we use here? Let's do that one, because it's easy for me to do. As you may already have noticed, I'm blurring a lot of different stuff here because, of course, I didn't ask the people to have a look at that. But as you can see, here you go. This is, for instance, the information you are getting for the latest version here. It has been on September the 13th, I see. So pretty new one. Not the newest one, but pretty new. Telegram, as mentioned before, is of course no longer supporting the platform. You can still use the normal messenger if you want to, which still works. but I think that Unigram Mobile Messenger is much more sophisticated and much better to use. And yeah, you all know what you can do. You can, for instance, attach stuff to your, for instance, from your gallery. You can put files in there. You can even share the position of yourself and stuff like that, the contacts, if you want to, and stuff like that. And of course, you have a couple of different options to for instance, put in stickers like it's normal in Telegram, for instance. Those are supported too. You can download them, you can share them and stuff like that, everything you want to do here. And of course you can, for instance, put in different emoticons, and there are a lot of them, as you can already see here. You can use GIFs, for instance, to share here. We are not having GIFs at the moment here, but if you want to, just have a look into the different channels here. I never sent a GIF out, but as you can see, here are a couple of those you can, for instance, use. There are others categorized in different categories here, and you just can share them if you want to. And of course, stickers itself, as mentioned before, are in different groups here too, and you can just use them. It's a pretty nice app. It really has a lot of different features, like for instance, even something like voice stuff you can transfer there. So just a voice message, more or less, as you know it from WhatsApp and other messengers too. But it really can do everything on Winster Mobile too, and it's really a nice app and one of the lifesavers you will have, especially because Telegram is, yeah, pretty used out there. So everybody is using it, or a lot of people at least are using it in my friend circle, more or less. So I'm really not needing WhatsApp that much anymore. There are, of course, a couple of people I can't contact with WhatsApp anymore, or with Telegram, because they're not using WhatsApp. The good thing about it is that my second app I'm using is, of course, Skype. And the interesting part is I more or less dropped Skype for a couple of years because I just used WhatsApp all the time. But since WhatsApp isn't anymore giving us support, we can use Skype again. And Skype is for most of the other people I'm communicating with, which are not using Telegram, for instance. And Skype itself is I'm not sure if it's still supported, but at least it's running very well, so you can easily work with it and use it. The good thing about it is, of course, you can have the different things you already know about it. Let's see. Try that one. Yeah, for instance, we have one of the chats here. This is a group chat, so you can, of course, have groups and stuff like that in there. You can have video calls, you can have audio calls with it. You can, of course, add new people in there and stuff like that. And of course, you can just have a look at the different ones here. You have options like all the different things you can think of, more or less. You can attach videos, you can attach files to it, you can attach contacts to it, everything you're used to in the end. And it's a pretty nice app if, for instance, you want to do video calls and stuff like that. This one is the one you should use. And one pretty nice feature of Skype is that, for instance, you can have one account on your mobile phone as anything, so Android, iOS, whatever, and on your PC, for instance. So you can have the same information on there and here, and everybody is going to see that more or less on each of the devices here, and nobody knows where you are writing from. And of course, if you want to go to your PC, for instance, and work with that, that's fine too. And if you are on the go, for instance, you can just use your Windows 10 Mobile Skype version here too and work with that. And there's nothing like in WhatsApp web or something where you have to scan something and reconnect or something. It's really just going to be done with this kind of information. In the end, that's more or less a little bit of a security thing, of course, because that means that there is a server which is hosting all the messages for you and not the smartphone itself. But in the end, it's Microsoft who is doing that, and that's better than most of the other manufacturers or offerers you will find out there. So Skype is a pretty nice one, I think. Try it out if you are no longer using it, because I think everybody has used it before. Okay, so with those out of the picture here, of course there's Outlook. I'm using Outlook. I can of course show you that, but again, I have to blur a couple of things here then. But in the end, as you can see here, we have Outlook in it. We can use Outlook for everything. If you of course set up the account right and stuff like that. I have my working account in here. I have a couple of other things here. I can of course answer with them, and everything is working fine, and especially nicely with Continuum, because that is a Windows own or Windows 10 Mobile own app, and of course it's really nicely done as a UWP. All of the apps I'm showing you today are UWPs, just to tell you. And yeah, I really like Outlook still, and use it for all my communication needs, of course. But I think I don't have to show you much about that, because you already know about that, and it's a pretty nice app. You already know that. Okay, so let's have a look at another communication app. Another communication app is of course Clamor. Clamor, not so widely and popular as the other ones I showed you before, is a Discord. Sorry for that. Is a Discord one. And the cool thing about it, it's really working pretty nicely. Click on that to open it up. Glamour is working for Windows 10 Mobile in the phone mode and in the mode here. As you can see, if you're not selecting a channel or something, you're going to see the Ninja Cat even in this app. And it's really a nice one. So for instance, let's have a look at karaoke channel here. This is a VR channel where I'm playing in VR in the karaoke world, and so here is, for instance, just what you are used to in Discord. So you have a different options here, like having a look at the different channels. You can of course join channels and talk to people even with voice chat and stuff like that. So everything is supported you would think of. The cool thing about it is that you can really even create an account and stuff like that. Before you are using it, you have to connect it to your account here, so you would have to go to your PC, have, for instance, Firefox or Chrome or Edge browser open, use it and get one of the tokens there. And if you're using that, you can put it into this app, and then you're fine to go, and you can use this forever and ever. And yeah, it's really a nice little app. I would highly recommend everybody who is playing video games or who is going to go with Discord in any kind of way to download this, because it's really a nice one. You can chat with different people, you can chat with different in different groups, feedback, video fixes, and everything that is shown here are of course different channels. As you can see, you can have all the different emoticons in there, different people talking to each other here, and of course have different images in there too. So it's not limited to anything. You have videos, you have images, everything is supported here, and you can use it. It's going to give you notifications if you want it to, and stuff like that. So try it out if you like Discord. This one is really a nice one. Okay. So, and then of course there are two apps I would highly recommend you if you, for instance, like YouTube, or if you are on Instagram. Both are from third-party developers, and both are pretty much amazing apps, I would say. So let's have a look at first. Let's start with Winster, and after that we can have a look at MyTube. Winster is of course, as you, I still should have it here somewhere. There it is. Winster is just an Instagram client, more or less, and it's a really nice one. As you can see, I'm following Linus Tech tips. As you can see, you can use it on your big screen in the Continuum mode, and you can use it of course on your PC or on your on your smartphone itself. So any kind of device you want to use it on, it should work with. As you can see, we have a couple of different informations here. This is the stories of the we are already seeing here. They are of course going to show you different things from people you are following, more or less, and in some cases, as here you can see that they are repeating. It highly depends on if you are going to have a lot of people you are following or not. I'm not following that many people. For instance, I'm following Microsoft and I'm following Jace2Sans and Lines Tech Tips and stuff like that. But in the end, it's up to you. You have really many different options in your sorry for that. In your live feed here, from time to time it might crash a little on the Continuum mode. On my smartphone itself, in that mode, it didn't crash at all for a long time, if you ask me. You can of course, yeah, more or less search stuff and do stuff with it. Just try it out. I like it very much. You should download it and try it out yourself if you want to. Yeah, and then I would say let's have a look at MyTube as the last app I'm using here. MyTube, everybody on the Windows Phone community should know MyTube. MyTube is the best client for YouTube that has ever existed, if you ask me. So it's really one of the best ones, even if you are going to other operation systems and stuff like that. It really is one of the most important ones, if you ask me. You can use it on your big screen, you can use it on your smartphone again. It's a full-featured UWP app or UWP app, and in the end you can do everything you want here. And one of the most or greatest features that app has is, for instance, that it can play in the background, it can play with video overlays and stuff like that. It really does the job very well. I'm not sure what we should have a look at the moment. Let's see if we can find, for instance, Jace2Sans or something. There we go. Just search for it, click on it, and it should start and show us probably a couple of different videos from him where he is trying to overclock something or build PCs or whatever he is doing there. And yeah, for instance, let's have a look at this here, just to show you how it's looking, what it does. And as you can see, it really does everything here in a very nice way. As you can see, we have the commentary section, we have the different options here from your account if you are logged in. I'm not even logged in at the moment. As you can see, there's a very interesting thing to scrub through in the video. So if you can see it, you are just more or less dragging and dropping around, and after that it's going to play from that point on. And it's really nicely done that you can do it like that, and how well it works. There you have different other options. You can see everything on this in the big screen, on your smartphone, everywhere. It's one of the nicest apps. You should download it and try it out yourself. It does a lot of different things that a normal YouTube app can't do, and just try it out. You will not regret it in any way, if you ask me. So, yes, this is more or less the 5 apps I wanted to show you here. There are a couple of more which I'm using, for instance, Rodel and stuff like that. There are a lot of different others here, or Reweb is one, Share It. There are a couple of others which I could, of course, have a look at in this video too, but let's face it, it's not going to be very interesting to see all of them here, and in the end it's just taking a lot of time to do that. I might do it in another special episode in future, but for now let's keep it with this 5, and I would say download them now. All of them are very nice and should be on your Windows 10 mobile smartphone if you are still using one in 2021 then. Next year, more or less, in a couple of days. Okay, so other than that, thank you for watching, I would say. If you like that, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to ask any kind of questions, just put them down below in the commentary section. For instance, if you have other apps you like, just put them down there. And for instance, of course, if you're asking for if one of the apps is working or not, just put them and put your questions down there, and I will try to answer your questions in that video or in the next video probably, or if I can. And of course, if not, I'm going to answer them in the commentary section too, of course. And other than that, if you didn't subscribe till now, the button is down below, press on it, it's not going to hurt you. And other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Don't forget the normal episode if you want to have a look at that too. And other than that, thanks for watching and bye.